Welcome to my channel, HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The United States has a rich history of coinage, and one of the most iconic pieces of that history is the Washington quarter dollar. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter quickly became a staple in American currency. Over the years, many different versions and series of the coin have been minted, with various changes in design, material, and minting practices. Today, we're focusing on a specific year, 1972, and how the Washington quarter from that year could be far more valuable than you might expect. At first glance, the 1972 Washington quarter might seem like just another regular coin from the early 1970s. After all, the Washington quarter was minted in massive quantities each year, and the 1972 version was no exception. This coin features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, facing right, with his name inscribed beneath. The reverse showcases a bald eagle perched on an olive branch, a symbol of strength and peace. These iconic elements have remained unchanged for decades, making the Washington quarter one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage. What sets the 1972 Washington quarter apart from other years? Well, for one, the sheer number of these coins produced that year makes it a relatively common find. In fact, hundreds of millions of 1972 quarters were minted, with the majority of them circulating and wearing down over time. It's easy to dismiss a coin like this as just another quarter, especially if it shows signs of age or heavy use. But don't be too quick to judge, because just like many other coins, the 1972 Washington quarter has the potential to be worth far more than its face value, depending on the condition and specific characteristics it holds. For most people, a 1972 Washington quarter in average circulated condition is worth exactly 25 cents, just what it says on the coin. However, the real value of these quarters lies in the ones that are in exceptional condition or that have some unique feature that sets them apart from the rest. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is always worth more than one that's been worn down from years of circulation. If you come across a 1972 Washington quarter that looks like it just came out of the mint, free of scratches, wear, or tarnish, you're holding a rare gem. Uncirculated coins like this are highly sought after by collectors, who pay a premium for pieces that retain all the fine details and shine they had when they were first produced. But condition isn't the only factor that could make a 1972 Washington quarter incredibly valuable. Like with many coins, minting errors can occur during the production process, and these errors can make certain coins worth far more than you might expect. Minting errors can range from slight imperfections to more dramatic mistakes. A 1972 quarter that was misstruck, meaning the design was stamped incorrectly, could be worth significantly more than a regular, well-circulated version. The errors that collectors tend to look for include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. If a 1972 Washington quarter has any of these characteristics, it could be a highly coveted piece for error coin collectors. One such error that can make a 1972 Washington quarter particularly valuable is the double die verse. This occurs when the coin is struck twice with the same die, leading to a doubling of the images and inscriptions. On a 1972 quarter, this could mean that the word Liberty, or the date 1972, appears with noticeable doubling, which can be a striking visual feature. Coins with this type of error are much rarer and are often sold for much higher prices than their non-error counterparts. Even slight errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin, so if you happen to find a 1972 Washington quarter with any type of minting mistake, it's well worth investigating further. Another factor that can affect the value of the 1972 Washington quarter is its rarity. As mentioned, millions of these coins were minted and circulated, but many have been lost, damaged, or simply worn down over time. The number of well-preserved examples has become much smaller, making uncirculated or error coins from this year highly sought after by serious collectors. When a coin is rare, whether because it was minted in limited quantities, has a minting error, or has been kept in perfect condition, it becomes much more valuable. That rarity is what drives up the price at auctions or in private sales. As for how much a 1972 Washington quarter can actually be worth, the typical coin in average condition may only fetch a small premium above face value. However, when a 1972 Washington quarter is in mint condition, or when it has a significant error, the price can increase exponentially. And here's where it gets really exciting. A particularly rare and well-preserved 1972 Washington quarter can be worth up to $77,000 in words. Yes, you read that correctly, $77,000. That's the kind of value you can expect for a coin that's either in uncirculated condition or has a rare minting error that makes it stand out in the eyes of collectors. So, how do you know if you've got a quarter worth tens of thousands of dollars? First, you'll want to check the condition. If the coin shows little to no wear and maintains a brilliant finish, it's worth setting aside for further evaluation. Second, carefully inspect the coin for any minting errors. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and the eagle on the reverse. If you notice any doubling, misalignments, or unusual marks, you might just have a rare find on your hands. Finally, if you're unsure about the coin's value, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a numismatic expert who can assess its condition and authenticity. In conclusion, the 1972 Washington quarter dollar may seem like an ordinary coin, but don't be fooled. With its potential for exceptional condition or rare minting errors, this coin has the possibility of being worth far more than its 25-cent face value. Whether it's in perfect, uncirculated condition or boasts an impressive minting error, a 1972 Washington quarter could be a valuable addition to any collection. And who knows? If you're lucky enough to find one in top condition or with a rare error, it could very well be worth $77,000. So, the next time you're searching through your change, take a moment to check for those hidden treasures. You never know what you might find. Top 2. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, and one of the most interesting and often overlooked coins in U.S. history is the 1974 Washington quarter dollar. This coin, while seemingly just another piece of everyday currency from the 1970s, has become a sought-after treasure for collectors. While you might think of coins from older eras as having the most value, there's a surprising amount of interest in more recent pieces, especially when they're in exceptional condition or feature rare minting errors. And the 1974 Washington quarter is no exception. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932, was designed to honor the first President of the United States, George Washington, on the 200th anniversary of his birth. The coin features a classic portrait of Washington on the obverse, with the reverse showcasing a bald eagle, America's symbol of strength, power, and freedom. Over the years, the design has remained relatively unchanged, making the Washington quarter one of the most iconic and recognizable coins in American history. By the time 1974 rolled around, the Washington quarter was minted in large quantities, and the vast majority of these coins were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, which had replaced the original silver composition in 1965. Despite being made in massive numbers, it's important to realize that even modern coins like the 1974 Washington quarter can become valuable over time, especially when they meet certain criteria. The value of a coin is influenced by factors such as rarity, condition, and any unique features that may set it apart from others, and these same principles apply to the 1974 quarter. Now, most of the 1974 Washington quarters you'll come across in circulation or in old coin jars are just that: ordinary, well-worn coins that have been through decades of use. However, this doesn't mean there aren't hidden treasures among them. If you're lucky enough to find a 1974 Washington quarter in excellent condition, or better yet, one that has a rare minting error, you could be holding onto a coin worth far more than its face value. Let's start with the most obvious factor: condition. The vast majority of 1974 Washington quarters were circulated widely, and as a result, they've seen their fair share of wear and tear. The harsh conditions of daily transactions, scratches, scuffs, and tarnishing, can dull the coin's shine and wear down the details. However, there's a much smaller subset of these coins that manage to escape circulation and remain in uncirculated or mint condition. These pristine examples are the ones that collectors truly covet. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in everyday commerce, meaning they retain their original luster, sharpness, and fine details. These coins are much rarer than you might think, especially considering that millions of 1974 quarters were produced. If you happen to find a 1974 Washington quarter in mint condition, it could command a premium price, far beyond its face value of 25 cents. But condition alone isn't always enough to make a coin truly valuable. Minting errors are another crucial element that can elevate the value of a coin. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, creating a unique characteristic that sets it apart from the rest. With the 1974 Washington quarter, a number of different errors have been discovered over the years. Some of the most valuable errors are things like double strikes, where the design is stamped twice, creating a blurry or overlapping image, off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned on the coin, or die cracks, which can create interesting patterns or features on the coin. These minting errors make the coin rarer and more desirable to collectors, especially those who specialize in error coins. One of the most exciting potential errors for a 1974 Washington quarter is the doubled die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or struck twice, causing the design to appear more than once on the coin. For example, you might notice that the word Liberty, or the date 1974, appears doubled or blurred. This type of error is incredibly rare, and it can dramatically increase the value of the coin. The 1974 Washington quarter, especially one with a double die or another notable error, is exactly the kind of coin that can make a collector's heart race. It's also worth noting that the overall rarity of the coin can affect its value. While millions of 1974 Washington quarters were minted, the number of high-quality, error-free examples that have survived in good condition is much smaller. Many coins are damaged or lost over the years, and as time goes on, the number of available uncirculated coins decreases. This scarcity can make certain coins, even from relatively recent years, much more valuable than you might expect. The 1974 Washington quarter has become a prime example of a coin that might not have been worth much when it was first minted, but now, thanks to its age and the increasing demand from collectors, it holds significant potential for appreciation in value. So, how much could a 1974 Washington quarter actually be worth? The value can vary greatly depending on the condition of the coin and whether it has any rare characteristics or minting errors. A regular 1974 Washington quarter in average condition might only be worth a little more than face value, perhaps 50 cents or $1 if it's in above average shape. However, if you happen to find an uncirculated coin, or one with a rare minting error, the value can increase dramatically. In fact, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin, it's possible for a 1974 Washington quarter to sell for up to $77,000 in words. That's right, $77,000. A pristine, error-free coin with unique characteristics can fetch a significant premium, making it one of the more valuable quarters in modern U.S. coinage. If you're wondering how to spot a coin like this, the first step is to examine the condition. Look for a quarter that shows no signs of wear, with crisp, sharp features and a shiny surface. Then, carefully inspect the coin for any signs of minting errors, such as double strikes or misalignments. If you find any of these rare characteristics, you may be holding a coin worth far more than you ever expected. In conclusion, the 1974 Washington quarter may seem like just another regular coin from the 1970s, but it's far more interesting than it first appears. With the right condition or a rare minting error, this quarter can be worth much more than its face value. If you find a 1974 Washington quarter in excellent condition or with a notable error, you could be looking at a valuable addition to your collection. And if you happen to find one of these coins in the right condition, it could be worth up to $77,000. So, the next time you come across a 1974 Washington quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 3. When we think of valuable coins in American history, certain years and designs immediately come to mind. The 1988 Washington quarter is one of those coins that often flies under the radar, but for savvy collectors, this seemingly ordinary coin has the potential to become a hidden treasure. While most people see the 1988 Washington quarter as just another piece of pocket change, the truth is that there are rare examples of this coin that can fetch an astonishing price on the market. If you happen to find one in top condition or with a unique feature, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its 25-cent face value. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay in U.S. coinage since 1932. Initially introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has remained a symbol of American pride. The design, featuring the profile of Washington on the obverse and a bald eagle on the reverse, has changed very little over the years. What makes the 1988 Washington quarter particularly interesting is that while it may not carry the same historical significance as older coins, it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, especially those looking for high-quality examples or rare minting errors. To understand the value of the 1988 Washington quarter, we need to take a look at the factors that determine coin worth: rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics. The 1988 Washington quarter, like most coins from the late 20th century, was produced in large quantities. In fact, millions of these coins were minted and circulated across the country, making them relatively common in everyday transactions. However, that doesn't mean there aren't valuable examples of the 1988 quarter hiding in plain sight. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved, free from scratches, tarnish, and wear, is far more valuable than one that has been circulated extensively. If you find a 1988 Washington quarter in uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more than you expect. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in everyday commerce, meaning they still retain their original luster, sharp edges, and crisp details. In the case of the 1988 Washington quarter, finding one in uncirculated condition is a rare and valuable discovery. The fact that many of these coins were minted in large numbers means that a significant portion of them ended up in circulation, where they were quickly worn down by time and use. However, the few that were preserved in mint condition are much rarer and therefore far more desirable to collectors. But condition alone isn't the only factor that can make the 1988 Washington quarter stand out. The coin is also subject to minting errors, rare mistakes that occur during the production process. These errors can vary in severity, from minor issues that are barely noticeable to more significant flaws that make the coin truly unique. Minting errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are incredibly rare, and they can dramatically increase the value of a coin. For example, a 1988 Washington quarter with a double strike, where the design is imprinted twice, can be worth significantly more than an error-free example. Other types of errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or mismatched dies, can also make the coin much more valuable. One of the most exciting types of error that collectors look for is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing the images on the coin to appear doubled or blurry. A 1988 Washington quarter with this type of error is considered a true rarity, and can attract serious interest from numismatists and collectors. The double die error can often be seen on key elements of the design, such as the word Liberty or the year 1988. If you come across a 1988 Washington quarter with noticeable doubling, it could be a highly prized find. Even without a minting error, a 1988 Washington quarter in top-notch condition can still command a hefty price. The simple fact that this coin is from the late 20th century and is part of a widely circulated series doesn't diminish its potential value. The rarity of finding a well-preserved example is what makes it so appealing. Many of the 1988 quarters that you'll find today have been in circulation for decades, passing through countless hands and showing the signs of wear. The ones that remain in excellent condition are scarce, and that scarcity contributes to their desirability. So, how much is the 1988 Washington quarter actually worth? It's true that most 1988 quarters you find in your change are worth exactly 25 cents. But if you happen to discover one that is uncirculated or has a minting error, the value can skyrocket. Some well-preserved examples of the 1988 Washington quarter can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. But the real prize comes when a rare minting error is involved, or the coin is in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. A coin like this could easily fetch up to $58,000 in words. That's right, $58,000 for a single 1988 Washington quarter. While this may seem like an unbelievable amount for a coin worth only 25 cents in face value, it's a reminder of how much collectors are willing to pay for something that is rare, in pristine condition, or has unique characteristics. The 1988 Washington quarter may not be as well known as older coins or those made of silver, but it has the potential to be just as valuable, especially if you know what to look for. In conclusion, the 1988 Washington quarter is a fascinating example of how seemingly ordinary coins can become valuable treasures with the right conditions or rare features. Whether it's in pristine, uncirculated condition or it has a minting error that sets it apart from the rest, this coin has the potential to become a valuable asset for the right collector. So, if you come across a 1988 Washington quarter in your change or find one in an old coin jar, take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a coin worth $58,000. Keep your eyes peeled, and you might just discover a hidden gem that could add significant value to your collection. Top 4. Coins have always played an important role in the history of the United States, and for collectors, even coins that seem like everyday currency can hold a hidden value. One coin that you might have overlooked or passed by in your change is the 1994 Washington quarter. While it's commonly thought of as just another regular quarter, the 1994 Washington quarter has the potential to be worth far more than its 25-cent face value, if you know where to look. For those who are savvy enough to spot a rare example, this coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's dive into the world of this fascinating quarter and explore how a 1994 Washington quarter could end up being a hidden treasure. First, let's take a look at the basics. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since it was introduced in 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter features the profile of George Washington on the obverse, and the reverse displays a bald eagle perched on an olive branch. While the coin's design has remained largely unchanged over the decades, the 1994 Washington quarter is unique because it marks a period when the coin was produced in massive quantities for circulation. In fact, millions of 1994 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, so it's easy to assume that most of them are fairly common. But it's important to realize that just because a coin is plentiful doesn't mean it's not worth something special. To truly understand the potential value of the 1994 Washington quarter, we need to consider a few key factors: condition, rarity, and any possible minting errors. These are the aspects that can elevate a seemingly ordinary coin into something worth significantly more than its face value. The first and most important factor is the condition of the coin. Like most coins from the 1990s, many of the 1994 Washington quarters have been in circulation for decades, leading to scratches, wear, and tarnishing. The majority of coins you'll find today will be heavily worn or damaged from years of use. However, uncirculated or mint-condition coins are far rarer, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. An uncirculated 1994 Washington quarter, one that has been kept in pristine condition without showing any signs of wear, can command a premium price. The rarity of finding a 1994 quarter in excellent condition is what makes it so valuable. A coin in uncirculated condition will have sharp, clean features, with no visible scratches, dings, or tarnish. These types of coins are highly coveted by collectors who specialize in modern U.S. coins, as they offer a piece of history that has been preserved in near-perfect form. If you happen to come across a 1994 Washington quarter that's in such exceptional condition, it could be worth far more than the typical quarter you find in your change. But it's not just about condition. Minting errors can significantly increase the value of the 1994 Washington quarter as well. Minting errors are rare mistakes that occur during the coin's production, and these errors can make a coin highly collectible. The 1994 Washington quarter, despite being minted in large numbers, has its share of potential errors. These could include things like double strikes, where the design is struck more than once, causing a blurry or overlapping image. Another common error that collectors look for is an off-center strike, where the design appears misaligned, creating a unique visual appearance. Other errors, such as die cracks or misaligned dies, can also be incredibly valuable to collectors who specialize in error coins. One of the most sought-after types of error coins is the doubled die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in the appearance of doubled or blurred images on the coin. For a 1994 Washington quarter, a doubled die could show up on the word Liberty or the year 1994, making it stand out from the regular coins. These types of minting errors are incredibly rare and can significantly increase the coin's value. Even small imperfections, such as a misaligned design or a noticeable doubling, can make a 1994 Washington quarter worth thousands of dollars. Another factor that adds to the value of this coin is the overall rarity of well-preserved examples. As time passes, many of the 1994 Washington quarters that were minted and circulated have been lost, damaged, or worn out. The number of high-quality, uncirculated examples continues to decrease as more coins are taken out of circulation. This makes the well-preserved specimens even more valuable, as collectors and investors seek out coins that are harder to find. So, how much is the 1994 Washington quarter really worth? For most people, a 1994 Washington quarter is worth just 25 cents, what it says on the coin. However, if you have the good fortune of finding one that is in mint condition or has a rare minting error, you could be looking at a substantial amount of money. Depending on the condition and the rarity of any errors, a 1994 Washington quarter could be worth thousands of dollars. In some cases, it's even possible for this coin to fetch as much as $48,000 in words. That's right, $48,000. This is the kind of value that can be associated with a perfectly preserved or rare 1994 Washington quarter with a significant minting error. The potential for such a high price makes it important for coin collectors and casual finders alike to take a closer look at their change, especially if they come across a 1994 Washington quarter. The chances of finding a coin in perfect condition or with a minting error may be slim, but the payoff could be enormous. If you're someone who enjoys coin collecting or just has a keen eye for valuable items, the 1994 Washington quarter is a coin you'll want to keep an eye out for. With just a little bit of luck and some careful inspection, you could be holding onto a coin that is worth far more than its 25-cent face value. In conclusion, while the 1994 Washington quarter may seem like just another coin from the late 20th century, it's much more than meets the eye. The value of this coin lies in its condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors that make it stand out from the rest. A well-preserved example or a coin with an error can fetch thousands of dollars from collectors. And if you're fortunate enough to find one of these rare treasures, it could be worth as much as $48,000. So, next time you dig through your change jar or find an old quarter from 1994, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just discover a hidden gem that could change your life. Top 5. When it comes to coin collecting, the value of a coin isn't always determined by its age or rarity in the traditional sense. Sometimes, it's about condition, timing, and unique qualities that make a coin stand out from the rest. One coin that might not immediately grab your attention is the 1998 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like just another regular quarter, but as any serious numismatist knows, even coins from recent years can hold significant value, especially if you know what to look for. The 1998 Washington quarter may not seem extraordinary, but its worth can surprise you, and in rare cases, it can fetch a truly jaw-dropping price. The Washington quarter has been in circulation for decades, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first President of the United States. This iconic coin has become a symbol of the country, featuring Washington's profile on the front and an eagle on the back. The design has remained mostly unchanged over the years, making the Washington quarter one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. But even though the design has stayed largely the same, the story behind each specific minting year, including 1998, tells a different tale, And it's this tale that can make a coin like the 1998 Washington quarter so fascinating. Let's dive into why this particular coin, despite being minted in large quantities, is more than just a piece of pocket change. For starters, when you look at the 1998 Washington quarter, you're looking at a coin from a time when millions of these quarters were produced. In fact, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints worked hard to strike these quarters, making the 1998 edition relatively common in terms of overall availability. However, what sets this coin apart from others minted around the same time is the condition it remains in today. Most of the 1998 quarters have been through years of circulation, which means they often show signs of wear. The surface is typically scratched, tarnished, and well used. But the real value lies in the few uncirculated or mint condition examples that have survived the test of time. An uncirculated coin is one that has never been used in daily transactions. It's the coin that, for whatever reason, escaped the wear and tear of everyday life, making it far rarer than a coin that has been passed through the hands of countless people. This makes the 1998 Washington quarter in excellent condition an extremely valuable find. For a coin like this to remain in perfect condition for decades is a rarity in itself, and this is precisely what numismatists and collectors are on the lookout for. If you happen to stumble upon a 1998 Washington quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to a small treasure. But condition is not the only factor that can drive up the value of a 1998 Washington quarter. Minting errors are another crucial element that can significantly increase the coin's worth. Minting errors occur during the production process and can cause unique anomalies on the coin, making it stand out from the rest. Errors can range from subtle to extreme, and the rarer the error, the higher the value. For example, a common error that occurs on quarters is the off-center strike, where the design is stamped incorrectly, resulting in a misaligned image. Other possible errors include doubled die, where the design is struck twice, die cracks, or even mismatched dies. These minting anomalies are incredibly rare, and they can make a coin much more valuable. One of the most coveted types of minting errors is the doubled die. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the stamping process, causing the coin's design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1998 Washington quarter, a doubled die would mean that elements of the coin, such as the word Liberty or the year 1998, might appear blurry or appear twice on the surface. Finding a double die error on a coin like this is incredibly rare, and collectors are always eager to get their hands on a coin with such a flaw. If you do find one of these error coins, you could be holding something worth far more than its face value. While minting errors certainly increase the value of a coin, it's not just about rare mistakes. Sometimes, the sheer scarcity of an uncirculated coin or the condition of a coin can make it more valuable. The 1998 Washington quarter was minted in massive numbers, but many of those coins were quickly circulated and subsequently damaged. The number of uncirculated coins has dwindled over the years, which makes finding a perfect 1998 Washington quarter a real challenge. This scarcity can make those remaining uncirculated examples worth far more than you might think. So, how much can a 1998 Washington quarter be worth? As with all coins, the value can vary greatly depending on its condition, any potential minting errors, and how rare the coin is. For a coin in average condition, it might only be worth a little more than its face value of 25 cents. But for a 1998 Washington quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition or with a significant minting error, the value can soar. In fact, if you happen to find one of these rare examples, it could easily fetch as much as $42,000 in words. That's right, $42,000 for a single 1998 Washington quarter. The idea that a modern coin could be worth such a high price might seem unbelievable at first, but it's important to remember that coin values are driven by rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that is exceptional in some way, whether it's because of its near-perfect condition or because it has a unique minting error. For those who are serious about coin collecting, the 1998 Washington quarter offers an opportunity to uncover a valuable find. In conclusion, The 1998 Washington quarter may appear to be just another regular coin from the late 20th century, but it's much more than that. If you happen to find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, you could be holding on to a coin worth far more than its face value. With the right combination of factors, condition, rarity, and minting errors, a 1998 Washington quarter could fetch as much as $42,000. So, keep an eye on your change, and the next time you come across a 1998 Washington quarter, take a closer look. It could very well be a hidden gem that's worth far more than you think.